a splash of olive oil. We would all like some quick and simple ways to improve our health, but we're inundated with often conflicting advice. So, if you're going to try just one thing to improve your mental and physical well-being, what should it be? Maybe playing a musical instrument to boost your brain power, or a spoonful of olive oil to help your heart. How about doing some volunteering to improve your immune system? I'm Dr. Michael Mosley, and this is Just One Thing, where each episode we'll explore one thing you can start doing today to improve your health or life in ways you might not expect. It's lunchtime, and I'm adding a simple but delicious ingredient to my salad that could improve my heart health, boost my brain, and even keep my joints in good shape. I'm having olive oil. Here we go. Tablespoon should do it. I am a huge fan of the Mediterranean diet, which is linked to all sorts of health benefits, and in the Mediterranean diet, olive oil plays a central, starring role. As well as being good to cook with, it imparts a lovely flavour. If you get extra virgin olive oil, you also get a delicious peppery finish. That's because extra virgin olive oil is especially rich in polyphenols, compounds found in plants that confer a wide range of health benefits. Olive oil is also rich in something called oleic acid, which along with the polyphenols could explain why a good glug of olive oil a day can lower inflammation, improve our memory, and reduce blood pressure. So how about welcoming more olive oil into your diet? I'm speaking to Ellen, an associate professor at Swansea University, to see if a dose of olive oil is just one thing she'd like to try. Hi, Ellen.
Hi, Michael.
So, Ellen, what's your diet like at the moment? Do you do much of your own cooking at home?
Yeah, I consider my diet to be very good. 95% is cooked from scratch.
Okay, that's very good. And what sort of oil do you use?
I use rapeseed oil.
Okay, and what about olive oil?
I do recall at some point reading that you couldn't use olive oil at high temperatures.
Okay, actually, it is safe to cook with olive oil because it has a surprisingly high smoke point, and as long as you're not constantly reusing it, then it's actually very safe oil, and the plus sides are considerable, particularly the benefits in relationship to heart disease, inflammation. Is that something you're interested in?
Oh, very much so.
Okay, so here's your challenge. I'm going to ask you to have 2 tablespoons of olive oil a day, about 20 mils, but I'd like you to try it in different ways. If you're trying extra virgin olive oil, have it raw, splash some on your salad. Now you can cook with it too, but in that case just use regular olive oil, which is considerably cheaper. What do you think?
Okay, that's great, Michael. Yes, I'm looking forward to doing this challenge.
I'm hoping Ellen enjoys this because olive oil is not only delicious, but it comes with lots of health benefits. Now you can buy it as ordinary olive oil or extra virgin, which is extra expensive. However, the extra virgin contains a higher quantity of polyphenols, plant compounds that are thought to give olive oil some pretty remarkable health properties, so may confer extra benefits. In a recent Spanish study of over 12,000 people, researchers found that those who had a tablespoon and a half of olive oil a day were half as likely to die from cardiovascular disease, which is impressive. This association was only found with those consuming extra virgin olive oil and not refined or ordinary olive oil. On the other hand, a 2020 roundup found that consuming olive oil in whatever form lowered blood pressure, though extra virgin had a bigger impact. As I mentioned earlier, this is probably because extra virgin has higher polyphenol levels, which have been shown to be both anti-inflammatory and reduce oxidative stress. But polyphenols don't tell the whole story of why olive oil is so good for the heart, and I'll be speaking to a scientist about that later. Moving on from the heart to my favourite organ, the brain. New research suggests olive oil, extra virgin or otherwise, can improve memory and protect brain health. In a small study, 25 older adults with mild memory problems were randomly assigned to a daily dose of 30 mils, that's a couple of tablespoons, of regular or extra virgin olive oil for 6 months. Now, both types of oil improved memory, but brain scans showed that extra virgin also improved connectivity in some parts of the brain. And it helped preserve the integrity of the blood-brain barrier, which protects the brain from toxic substances. And that's not all. A daily dose of olive oil could also dampen down chronic inflammation, which is linked to dementia and cancer. A recent roundup of 30 studies found that daily consumption of olive oil reduced levels of interleukin-6 and C-reactive protein, two markers of inflammation. I'll be taking a deeper dive into the health benefits of olive oil with an expert in a moment. First, though, let's find out how Ellen is enjoying her olive oily challenge.
I'm halfway through and I have not had any difficulty in the swap to olive oil from rapeseed oil. I do find the taste of my food is different, and I mean that in a good way. I've been substituting it for my usual oil on my daily salads, and I've actually been using it on my bread as well instead of butter. I much prefer my food that is a different taste using olive oil instead of rapeseed oil. Health-wise, I find I'm not creaking quite so much, and I have a general sense of an overall increase in my well-being. I'm really enjoying the challenge, and I'm very much looking forward to the next 3 days.
That's great. We'll catch up with Ellen again at the end of the week and see if olive oil is just one thing she'll keep consuming. First, let's speak to Dr. Bill Mullen from the University of Glasgow, who's been researching the impact of olive oil on heart health. Hello, Bill.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you personally a fan of olive oil? Do you consume it in large amounts?
To give you a little side story on that, my partner and I, the supermarket we go to keep statistics of all your purchases, and the two of us came out as being the 5th highest purchasers of olive oil in Scotland. So yes, we do consume it, both cook with it and put it onto the salads.
Sounds like you rub it in your hair and wash it as well.
Well, if I had any hair, Michael, I'd be rubbing it in, yes.
Wow, that's impressive. Okay. Now, I remember that when we met before, you were studying olive oil and heart health. And at the time, a lot of the studies were association studies, population studies, or where you were looking at proxies for heart health, like blood pressure or cholesterol. I believe you've gone further than that. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct, Michael. One of the problems with using cholesterol, it's a risk factor. You can have high cholesterol and good heart health, you low cholesterol and have a heart attack. So what we were developing is if we could find a fingerprint of the disease based on the proteins that we were looking at in urine samples. And we've shown that with these biomarkers that we can get signs of who's going to be developing the disease, and we can treat them when the diseases are treatable.
Got it. So this test is, in many ways, you believe, more accurate than some of the standard tests when it comes to predicting who will go on to develop heart disease. But a lot of people wonder, is it worth spending all that extra money on the extra virgin olive oil? Will they get extra benefit? And I believe you did a study asking exactly this question.
We got two groups of people, and one group we gave the extra virgin olive oil to, the other group we gave a refined olive oil, the standard olive oil, and they consumed 20 millilitres of that for 6 weeks. And we'd collected samples before at 3 weeks and at 6 weeks to find out if there was any difference between the two. Everyone was healthy on the study, going by the biomarker we had, but their actual score improved in terms of heart disease, and both of them were statistically significant changes, which was really quite amazing in a nutritional study.
Wow. It didn't matter what type of olive oil you were consuming.
Yeah, extra virgin olive oil has got the additional polyphenols that are present in there. And they may still have some beneficial effect, but the main thing that we saw with the biomarker that we were using, which was specific for coronary artery disease, there was no difference between the two olive oils.
If it's not the polyphenols, and that's what your study seemed to demonstrate, what is it in the olive oil that you think is beneficial?
It can't just be the polyphenolics that are in it. The major component of olive oil is oleic acid, and it's one of these omega-9 fatty acids. Oleic acid is certainly known for having anti-inflammatory effects, and we're pretty sure a lot of these chronic diseases start with inflammation. And if it does have an anti-inflammatory effect, it's most likely that it's going to prevent issues in the endothelial function on the arterial walls. It'll stop build-up of plaques from forming on the arterial walls, which these are all basically made up of collagen. And if it can prevent any damage to the endothelial and the collagen there, then this could be the main reason why olive oil has that effect. And if it's good for coronary arteries, it's good for arteries in the brain as well. It seems to do just about everything because, even for brain health, again, anything that's anti-inflammatory, it does seem to be advantageous for that. There's reduction in people who have issues with dementia, especially if we're just looking at, say, vascular dementia. If it's an anti-inflammatory effect that it has, then it sort of gives you the idea that it is a general effect, should be beneficial.
So as well as the anti-inflammatory action of olive oil and particularly oleic acid, you think there may be something going on with the collagen, the stretchy protein, which is also found in the arteries and veins. Now, how much olive oil would you recommend consuming per day?
So as long as you've got an intake of 20 mils per day, it will provide a beneficial effect for you.
Okay, and that's a couple of dessert spoons, is it?
Yeah, that's right.
Brilliant. And I love the flavour anyway, so I think this is one of those real win-wins.
Yeah, I think so as well.
It's good to hear Bill confirm that all types of olive oil are beneficial and that it may be the oleic acid in it which is keeping my heart and blood vessels healthy. Let's check in one final time with Ellen to see if she's feeling the love for olive oil.
Well, it's day 7 and I have completed my challenge. A friend came over for a stir fry the other night and I had cooked the same stir fry the week before and I hadn't made any other changes other than the oil, and he said that, the food tastes better tonight, so that was good. And the other thing it's done is definitely brought back a love of cooking, because as a mother I cook every day, but just by making this small substitution just made a difference, made me more conscious of what I was cooking, and so I've really enjoyed it and I'm 100% going to continue to use olive oil.
I'm so glad Ellen has become an olive oil convert. I've been using it for many years as my main source of fat, splashing extra virgin on my salads and even baking with it. Right now I'm making a lentil soup, which I'm doing by gently frying onions in regular olive oil, and then I'm just about to add some lentils and then some stock. I'm going to leave it on the stove for about 30 minutes and then dish it out with a nice glug of extra virgin to top it off. So there you are. Enjoy olive oil. Your heart, brain and your joints will thank you. Yep, that's coming along nicely. That's it. It's just one thing you can do now which really could benefit your body and life. If you want to hear more of the series, why not subscribe on BBC Sounds? On the next episode of Just One Thing, make some music. How learning to play a musical instrument can improve your mood, memory and immune system.